here. Just going to continue on to Clarion Corp. And get all
And
good, get into this game in just a moment.
something that's like going to be worth noting in this game, obviously, Eternal Sovereigns has X and Rune, and I think this combo can work pretty well. But also, it is easy if like your team isn't super coordinated for the Rune to like banish the enemy during X's ult and like essentially help the enemy team because you're just denying the X's own ult damage. But
Oh.
that team does a lot of damage if they can sync their abilities correctly, and we'll see if Ballin Ballers with their Atlas can kind of live and tank all that damage and score before they die.
True, they have a really good chance of doing so as well. They do have Now on the team, really great at healing and just getting around the board in general, but indeed a lot of damage on the side here with Rune and Finny and X all together with Siphoning one too. So really kind of going all in on the damage, a little bit of healing as well to make that one work. We're going to start off here on the top side. They do get a barrier first, Ballin Ballers. First blood there with that barrier. Gets the second one as well, pushing onto the top side here. Really great situation with that primary, and that was nice. Getting on in there. The Brawler. Making it happen. Used to be like Mommy, Milk or something. What was it?
Big anime Milkies, I
Oh,
think?
God. Oh, jeez. You know?
Good name change.
That's...
Yeah, I'm glad you had me say that.
my bad.
It's okay. I'm sure I'll say worse later on in this cast. Anyways. So how we're expecting this to look early on is the X team just really wants to like somehow steal away a set and get the X to scale. We see it all the time with these X teams, like early game, whatever. Most of the time they're playing to just kind of hopefully make it to that fourth set where they're giga scaled and winning. The Brawler getting a really nice score. Ballin Ballers, they've played together forever. They know how to keep an offense going. These are all picks that they're practiced on. They played for a while. I think I like know Lufoxio as a Now player. I'm pretty sure that's his signature pick. So yeah, I am excited to like see this clash of styles where Eternal Sovereigns is a lot more likely to try and find these ledge KOs from Bug, whereas Ballin Ballers is just going to have really good core control. And we already saw that highlighted by what you said with the siphoning one on X, which I think in this Magnetized Souls meta, really hard to play with since you just lose so much midfield pressure. But we'll see how Bug can manage it.
Yeah, I do agree with that. It certainly is Magnetized Soul meta right here. But yeah, it's time to go all in on the damage, and they do have it. I mean, honestly, they do have quite a bit of damage. It really is like Now Atlas, the surviving team, the core control team against the kill you team, and we'll see if they can survive here with that nice rune pillar on the top, keeping a whole lot of pressure in. Julak, Dave trying to help there from the back line. They do find a kill on X, just actually finally weathering the storm and getting the damage, but Julak, really great pillar, and a strike follow-up is going to get it onto the bottom side there. And we can see Ballin Ballers always doing a little stagger walk there every time we see them.
Yeah, that's a typical winning celebration. Love it. Julak able to set up a really good, just essential 50-50 to win like the point with his banish. We almost saw it last point, but there's also like something to be said for Rune and Finny in overtime and just being able to send the core really fast and control space with their creations. So these points are either going to be like really fast or they can get like pretty long and then end really suddenly. And I like these kinds of games. I think since Red Team did not choose a melee goalie, the game is a lot more fun.
True, yeah. Finny does add a whole lot of different dynamics where she just really does a lot of work in the ranged goalie category there. Oh, winning a really good strike war there. The Brawler taking out Julak there on the bottom side and scoring that first set there for Ballin Ballers with some good synergy there. Dr. Bebop also keeping those points alive. Honestly, good synergy here for that team. And oh man, rapid fire. This could be big. This could be big for the side of Ballin Ballers here.
Yeah, or also fight or flight. Really
right.
big speed awakening. One of the best in the game. The Now is gonna take it. Rune does get rapid fire. He can like use that reduced ability cooldown to contend with some of the speed that Now has and still mess her up. But I think fight or flight, the best midfield awakening in the game. Really good. Both teams are able to get a lot of speed on pretty much everyone they want speed on. Asher is set up to scale a bit with Spark, which in case later on Ballin Ballers loses a set, they could still maybe potentially outscale the X. We'll see if that happens. It's not always something they could go for. The Brawler, meanwhile, being a bit of a brawler and getting a KO on the goalie who walked up a little too far. And Ballin Ballers really quickly transitions that into a score. Great power play. You can just tell the teams played together for a while, and when they're on comps they're familiar with, when they're comfortable, they just know how to end games.
Yeah, really incredible combo there from the Brawler to find Dave out of position onto the top side there. And confirm that one into a kill as Appleberg is trying to push onto the top side here with that Bull Rush. Can't seem to land it though, but Julak with a great primary. The Anomaly keeps that one in to grab the final barrier. Dave not having too much trouble of defending this situation either though. Helps it out with that misdirection too. They have a good power play here. Tries to get the banish, doesn't seem to make it work out. Good, nice strike shot there from Bebop to keep that one alive. Applebuck has another strike board to win. Even through the X Maximus, Brawler actually survives that situation, but they do lose one barrier in return here, though. Brawler again on the front lines, wins a situation. Big strike war has flipped. This could be a big situation here. Dr. Bebop also working on a flip. Make sure that this defense gets right to the Brawler. Spends that flip. Was not super fast on the ball, but really nice shot there from Brawler. Gets it right on through. And yeah, like you said, Ballin Ballers be playing together a lot. They've certainly been a team for some time now, and it shows.
Yeah, and something that I do want to highlight there is the way that Lufoxio played against Rune kind of showcased why Fighter Flight is so good. The Rune tried to pillar like below him, and when he was caught in that animation, Lufoxio could literally just like run up and strike and get the core past him. When Rune has to deal with characters that are really fast, it can get really weird placing pillars down and trying to work around that, because there is like this small little cast time on pillar that you can't strike during, you can't move during, and it's like very like if you could beat that one ability either by just pushing it through the Rune or delaying like your strike to play around the pillar, Rune doesn't really have much in midfield to help him out, and that kind of interaction and how you play it is a really important part of playing against a Rune. And off a bug, really low here. No evade, staggered, dead, and Ballin Ballers and another power play. We'll see how this goes for them. If they can clean it up here, they win the set, and it looks really hard for Eternal Sovereigns.
Yep, Julak and Dave do keep it alive though, at least long enough to continue the point while Appabug returns. They keep this one alive. Got the pillar on the bottom side there. Banish on that one as well. Brawler's going to eat the Anomaly. Okay, no strike war here for Appa. Going to get flipped on there. But Brawler has the Maelstrom Orb, and it's going to be almost a really tough situation for Dave, but does end up surviving it there. Really tough. Appabug has the ball, grabs it, passes it over to Julak. Brawler almost gets a flip on there. But wow, really great secondary there from the Foxio to make sure that the barrier goes down. Bebop going to try to defend. Yes, with the Expanse is going to hold this ball basically infinitely, though, but a flip from Julak is not going to land that one in there, as Brawler is going to put themselves in a situation to make sure that that gets blocked with Foxio against Appabug in the strike war here now. Man, okay, they keep this one alive, though. Almost keeps this one alive. Nice shot, Brawler.
Yeah, the Brawler keeps on getting, like, Dave caught off guard with these, like, really quick scores. Finny has a lot of, like, ability to control zones and kind of deny the enemy team, but if you just shoot it at her and she misreads you, then it's gonna look silly. Really important draft here. We'll see what both teams get. X gets heavy impact. I don't think this is the awakening that like blows the game open for Eternal Sovereigns. I do think the mistakes they're making are fixable. Like, they're losing rounds to really like straightforward things. Rune gets CTL, which can really like help you steal away a set. And Eternal Sovereigns, if they can like win some more strike wars, if they can just play the game a little bit better, maybe like when they have the core, not rush to play as much and get more cooldowns out from the Atlas, they could steal away a set, and then the game could look really different than what it's looked like so far.
Totally agree on that one there. No barrier's going to go down just yet, though we have the Path Spitter. It's going to be a really difficult situation to defend against Asher ult specifically. The Path Spitter does some amazing stuff there, grabbing that first barrier, though. Foxio using a whole lot of extra speed, like you mentioned before. Fighter Flight doing such a great job in midfield to make sure that they hold the line, but running into the wall for just a moment there is not going to get too much done. Nice secondary to keep the ball forward, trying to get that right into the hands of the Brawler here. Oh, okay, unfortunate little int there from the pillar. Dave is not going to be able to defend that last barrier. Okay, another pillar coming out, trying to kill the Brawler here, but not going to work out just yet as well. But, whoa! Point goes to Atlas, as a lot of projectiles be flying all over the place. I think that might have been a misdirect there. The misdirection primary.
Chulok hit it off his own pillar, which then hit it into the Finny primary. So the
Okay.
midfielder and goalie had really good synergy on goaling on themselves. So that they just need that synergy on the other side of the net now, and then they can start winning this game.
I think they can do it. Honestly, I think they
I
have the potential.
I do too. I think I'm joking and teasing them a bit, but like these comps are really hard to play, and you're going to get really silly looking moments like that. But also like this is a good defense. Julok banishes both of the midfield and brawler, buying a lot of time for Opabug to respawn. They're 30 seconds away from overtime, where Rune can kind of magically score. Um, there's something that can happen, but it's really hard. Brawler, flip, score, looking like Scyther 12 out there. Really, really great scoring, and just like awareness of when you can just instantly take the strike and find the ball in the enemy net.
Yeah, I do definitely agree with what you're saying. Like, this is definitely a hard comp to play when the ball is not simply in the hands of the X, and you have to deal with a lot of projectiles and, like, really pinpoint accuracy with some of the rune stuff and some of the Finny stuff. Like, Finny secondary has really long cast time, so it's just makes things hard, and like you said, those moments are going to happen, but trying to reduce them to as low as possible here, as Julak is going to be staggered down to nothing, standing in the slime for maybe just a little bit too long here, though. Opabug is trying to get it, but also sort of running out of health with the slime at the top side there. Foxio getting it on in there with Brawler, bottom barrier down as well. Brings it up to the top, but they're going to try to fight their way out here with this X Maximus. Dr. Bebop has Flip, maybe can make a move up play here, though. Brawler can just get their hands on it. They could probably get a point on the top side here. Can't get it through Opabug just yet, though. Dave is going to defend with Opabug on the bottom side here as Julek is going to try to grab some orbs and continue this point.
Yeah, and oh, really vital strike there from Opabug. Buys, like, now they have barrier advantage, so they kind of buy a lot of open space that they can use. They quickly lose it, and Opabug kind of uses his flip, and not the best flip ever, but it at least delays time for Julok to respawn and Bebop to score on himself. And it happens, but two more points like this, and the X team can scale and win the game. There's a huge energy advantage on Ballin Ballers, so I'm not gonna lie, it still looks really hard for Eternal Sovereigns, but they're alive. Dave didn't own barrier himself. This is like, there's improvement here.
Yeah, Brawler gets the Maelstrom Orb there, but gets banished in return, and also ends up destroying Julak with the Path Splitter, gets the flip. Vinny's ult, though, is going to make it work. The big finish, keep that big barrier alive. Also has Flip going to defend with Opabug and try to keep this last barrier alive through this power play, though. The primary is going to make things a little bit awkward here, but now Julak is back to help here with one of these anomalies, and now we just need to see if Eternal Sovereigns can get a little bit of momentum here, and that's not going to be it, as the Foxio finds a really great secondary to grab the last barrier, and now we have Ballin Ballers looking at their last point possibly here of this first game. See if they can get it on through this defense here that they have of Julak and Opabug.
Yeah, and that barrier, that was just like a classic, wow, one midfielder has fight or flight and a really good speed awakening, and the other one doesn't moment. He's able to just run up, get the barrier, make his own quick little play, and Ballin Ballers, they have all the time in the world to find this goal. They're 2 barriers up. Never mind. But the Brawler puts it in, and look,
Nice.
so that's a huge Asher with the orb. It went right to him. I don't know how you defend that.
Yeah, the orb was tough. Big Asher, lots of cooldowns. Tough situation there for Dave, but really great synergy there from Ballin Ballers, as we've seen in the past, and it is not stopping. So Eternal Sovereigns, good try on that game there, but it's going to be, yeah, honestly, that's just it, right? That's X. It's really tough if, like, X does not get a lot of the awakenings. Like, he just doesn't have access to all those awakenings just yet, and he just doesn't get a chance to scale, and that's where you want to stop a character like X. Make sure he's not getting any of those big awakenings, and you just can't get that power spike. And sometimes you just get to kind of run over him, especially with something like Fight or Flight. As you mentioned, again, it's hard to ignore that is such a powerful awakening in the midfield that it really does cause, like, sort of a gap when it comes to, like, the midfield getting it past the other midfield.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, Lufoxio had 170 redirects, by far the highest in the game. It's it's a really clean game from Ballin Ballers. It looks bad for Eternal Sovereigns. That's not how they wanted the game to go. But I think that game was one set away from Eternal Sovereign starting to look a lot stronger. The game snowballed early from like unfortunately now getting fight or flight, and Eternal Sovereign just kind of like didn't win their skill checks that they needed to win to let their comp scale. And it's a quick first game here, but I know the upcoming matches. There's a lot of very interesting and hyper competitive ones that I'm really excited to watch. I wonder what we have coming up next, if that's been decided yet. I'm trying to find the chat that I have to check to figure that out.
I think it's Plink and oh no, I guess it wouldn't be this. It would be yes, of course. Anyway, yeah, we are going to go to just a quick break there after that really interesting game there. Don't go anywhere. We have a lot more strikers. Oh, and we have a lot more strikers coming up. Stay tuned.